Hello down here.
Hey everybody, this is Atticus the Death Metaller, and welcome to the year's first episode of the Death Metaller Reviews. Here in this episode, we are going to be reviewing Trivium's latest release, The Sin and the Sentence, which I have their release right here. And with every The Death Metaller Reviews episode, let us go down to the history of the band now, shall we? It is no stranger that I live in the death metal mecca of the world, Florida. Not only is Florida known for harboring such bands like Death, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, and Obituary, Florida is known for harboring another great band, Trivium. Trivium had its humble beginnings as a high school band in 1999, not knowing in the turn of the century they would become a well-known household name in metal. For the name they chose for the band, they explained that Trivium was a Latin three-way intersection, combining metalcore, melodic death metal, and thrash metal. Trivium's music mixes soaring and crushing riffs, dual guitar harmonies, double bass drum patterns, and occasional blast beats and breakdowns that one can expect from the metalcore genre. Vocally, Trivium combines both singing along with heavy screaming and growls. Trivium is one of the notable new wave of American heavy metal acts, along with such acts like Shadows Fall, God Forbid, Killswitch Engage, and Lamb of God. Trivium's influence ranges from such great bands like Metallica, Emperor, King Diamond, Slayer, Testament, Ice Earth, Cannibal Corpse, and Death. But Matt Heffy stated that without Iron Maiden, Trivium would never exist. With over 1 million copies of their 8 studio releases sold across the world, Trivium has indeed become a household name. And this is where we begin our review for The Sin and the Sentence. The Sin and the Sentence was produced and mixed by Josh Wilbur, and Josh Wilbur has known to have worked with such acts like All That Remains, Chevelle, Dillinger Escape Plan, Gojira, Korn, and Lamb of God. The Sin and the Sentence is also the album which features Trivium's newest drummer, Alex Bent. And I gotta say, the dude can drum. He can really fucking drum. And he was known to be in such great acts like Archaic, which was his first band, and he also was with my friends from the band Battlecross for some time. I mean, there's a picture of me with the boys from Battlecross and Alex Bent featured in there. He's a really cool guy. This album, I will say, was the album that brought back the old Trivium spirits back with Embers to Inferno, Ascendancy, The Crusade, and Shogun until In Waves, Vengeance Falls, and Silence in the Snow came around, which they lost that spirit. Not to say that In Waves, Vengeance Falls, and Silence in the Snow were, bad releases. I mean, I liked In Waves and Vengeance Falls. Silence in the Snow, I will admit, was their tamest release, but they made it all back up with The Sin and the Sentence. And it's also the album which brought back Matt Heffy's harsh vocals after he sustained a injury from the throat, which I was freaking out about. But I'm glad that Matt Heffy is recovered from it and actually doing the harsh vocals, which it's pretty risky to do. But aside from all that, let's talk about the songs that really made a huge impact to me while listening to The Sin and the Sentence. The first track on the list is, of course, the title track, The Sin and the Sentence. And my god, is it a strong start and aggressive start to this album. The drumming from Alex Bent is just phenomenal. And the lyrics and the guitar and bass is just absolutely god tier from this band. And the lyrics from this song is pretty damn epic. It's of course about, like, in my opinion, a person that was wrongly convicted, and I will say the most powerful portion of the song lyrically, and this was my favorite part of the lyrics, was when Matt Heffy sings, "You condemn me because you don't understand me," and I think it is a very powerful statement in regards to, like, a lot of stuff going on, and people can, you know, interpret that to their struggles into their lives, and it's a really emotional, really powerful portion of the song that I absolutely love. The song brings back the old Trivium vibe. It's just absolutely a great and epic beginning for the album. The next song on our list is the song Beyond Oblivion, and upon the influence and the idea for the song, Paolo Gregolato stated in an interview with Team Rock, stating that Corey Balaleu was scrolling through his TV guide and he saw the phrase Beyond Oblivion on his show and wrote it down. I felt like I couldn't make that work for a chorus, so I had to think of a theme of what that would be. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts about artificial intelligence, but they were comparing the idea of the coming technology to the atomic bomb, of how we created this incredibly immense, dangerous, world-destructing thing in a moment when no one was really thinking of the implications. The song was viewing it from the perspective of someone that creates this sort of technology and comes to view it for what it is. And I can say how I felt about Epica's song Universal Death Squad. The moment in where we create an artificial intelligence in which thanks for feelings and a will to live, you put them the fuck down, because they will be the death of human civilization as we know it, the death of humanity as we know it. How I view about the song is pretty awesome. It's really epic. I love how it goes slow, then a bit aggressive, and the chorus is very, you know, it has a feel like, you know, no matter what goes on in this world, that me and the group of my friends that I hang out with, we're in this together. And that's how I view about the chorus onto this song. And it's a really good song foreshadowing how we view artificial intelligence and how technology goes way too far. And somehow when I thought about, you know, the atomic bomb on the interview, I was thinking of Shogun, the song Down from the Sky from the album Shogun. By the way, you should definitely check out Shogun. But that is my views on Beyond Oblivion.
What have we done? To the future we run. What have we done? Headlong without question. What have we done? Creation's demise. What have we done? To put an end to our life.
The next song on our list is one of my favorite songs off of this album, called The Heart from Your Hate. Now, musically it is a slow song, but I will say it is one of the best songs off of this album. And why do I say that? Because I can relate to this song in so many ways. Now, it is no stranger that we use social media 99.9% of our daily lives. And we think that, you know, our opinions are better than everyone. And it's just this vicious cycle on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr that we have all these thoughts and we just jam it down on people's throats. And just, we cannot agree in a very civilized manner. And I can relate to that with me and the group of my friends that I hang with. There are times in where we agree or we disagree. And instead of just attacking each other like everyone else, we agree and disagree in a very civilized manner. And I can relate, one of the lyrics really struck a chord to me with this part right here. Tell me, maybe you were right, maybe I was wrong, but I've been silent for far too long. Maybe you were right, maybe I should go, but I've been silent for far too long. And that really strikes a chord to me, and it's just a really powerful portion of this song. And that's what I really love about Trivium. They take a lot of stuff that we, you know, deal with on a lot, and it's just stupid as well as just very hard for all of us, including friendships. And Trivium takes this whole situation that we're doing in this social media culture, and it can relate to all of our differences in social media. I just love Trivium for making a song about that because I can relate with it perfectly, and I'm pretty sure the friends that I associate it with can relate to this song in so many ways. And that's like, I love Trivium for making the song.
What will it take to rip the heart from your hate? What will it take? What will it take to rip the heart from your hate?
The next song on our list is another favorite song of mine, Betrayer. And of course, the song is pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like that I need to go further in depth onto the song. The song musically is fast-paced, has a little bit of a rock vibe, but also a thrash and melodic death metal vibe onto the song, which I absolutely love. Alex Bent, as always, kicks ass on the drums. On my thoughts on the lyrics are pretty powerful when it comes to how we've dealt with betrayal in the past. We've dealt with betrayal in friendships, marriages, relationships. It comes with so many people's experiences with betrayal, and betrayal is something that we will indeed have to, experience in our lives. The song is stating that you should never be a victim, never be a fool against, people that were once close to you will stab you in the back. Be a Brutus or a Judas. And, it's just one of those things that we have to look forward to. But the song states, when you are betrayed, don't be a victim or don't be a fool. You have to, when it comes, you're gonna have to, fight back with everything you've got. And that's what I loved about this song. And also, not to mention that the song reminds me of like an anime intro as well. It really does make me think of an anime intro like Attack on Titan for some odd reason.
I'll never be a victim for you. I'll never be your fool. I'll never be a victim. Betrayer.
The next song on our list is the song Endless Nights. Now, just like with the song The Heart From Your Hate, it deals with a lot of problems that are going on in today's world. And it's not just social media, it's friendships that are on the line and that are in jeopardy. And I could relate to that with my group of friends that I hang out with. We've been through a lot, and I can definitely say that even though we had a lot of rocky roads to go through, I can definitely say that regardless, they are my good friends to the very end. And, I can relate to that with a lot of people. There are friendships that are still around to the end of time. There are some friendships that don't work out that much. But in the end, if stuff goes on and you work through it, those are the friendships that really do matter. And Trivium really does a good job onto that song. It has that Silence in the Snow vibe, and it's also, just a really great song in dealing with, the hardships that, friends go through. None of us have really good friendships. There are friendships that just end because of really bitterness. But there are some friendships that even though through all the hardships, they manage to pull through and come together. And that's what I love about this song, because it relates to, my friendships with the people that I associate with.
I try to change, but the doubt escapes again. I fight another round this night. I try to change, but the doubt.
And now we go to the final song on this list, Beauty in Sorrow. And again, bassist Paolo Gracolato described in a Team Rock interview, stating, musically, most of the riffs in this song kind of stayed the same, but once I figured out where it was going to go lyrically, we were able to shape it in a lot more. I listened to this guy, Dan Carlin. He had a podcast called Hardcore History. It was 16 hours. It was crazy, tons of episodes, all about World War I. And I was so drawn into this. And I had read a book not long before called Beauty in the Sorrow. And that was about World War I. It was about personal lives of people involved all around this huge calamitous thing. and it had a lot of the stories that were built through their letters. It's different because we never took a subject like that and made it into a Trivium song. And the concept of World War I is really interesting to me. I mean, I talked about it in my episode of Sabaton, The Last Stand, where we talked about the Siege of Belgorod and the Lost Battalion in Argonne Forest, and not to mention I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 1. So the topic of World War I is really interesting, and I'm very glad that a lot of pop culture and a lot of people are touching up more onto World War I, because I've watched a lot of videos and movies and played video games, mostly Call of Duty video games on World War II. But it's really interesting that we're learning more about World War I as of this decade. And the song kind of reminds me a bit like the song Black from the In Waves album, but it's really cool. It has some rock elements as well as melodic death metal elements into the song. And it's a pretty great song. I love what inspired this song, and just, read more about World War I. That's all I gotta say.
It felt so strange, living in my grave, Kelly's breath waiting to expire. Remember home, dying here alone, hollow words, anthems from the choir.
So this concludes our review for The Sin and the Sentence, and all I gotta say, this has probably one of the best albums I have ever checked out in 2017. I haven't really picked up a lot of albums this year, but I will say a couple of albums really did, bring interest in me. Mostly this album by Trivium. I will indeed say, after the 3 releases, after the departure of their drummer Travis Smith, and working with a couple drummers in Waves, Vengeance Falls, Silence in the Snow, I think they really got their old vibe back onto The Sin, the Sentence. Alex Bent is an absolute great asset with his drumming capabilities, bringing back the old drumming spirit as well as adding his own techniques into the album. The lyrics are just god tier and just absolutely just beautifully written, and most of those songs I could really relate to. I think The Sin, the Sentence will go down in history as one of the best metal albums ever created. The Sin and the Sentence gets a 10 out of 10 for this review. So what were your initial thoughts on The Sin and Sentence? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave down your comments on the section below. And hopefully I can make more reviews like this for this year. So there's that. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus, the Death Metaller. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are in the description below. Keep it metal and have a wonderful day.
I see betrayal.